Oh, oh, we need the fog machine going. What am I doing? How could I forget? Let's get that going. Ooh, it's nice and foggy now. Welcome. This is way, way back, 19XDX, Episode 1, First Night, brand new Detroit Arcade Club show. My name is Chris. I go by Pixel Polygon on the internet when I play video games, which is a really weird thing to say because that sounds like a goofy 90s hacker thing, and that's strange. But anyway, we're calling this Season 2 of the Detroit Arcade Club streaming shows. This show that I am starting tonight is meant to be a little different. If you watch our streaming shows, maybe you know that we try to have a show going just about every night of the week, and I was kind of the Sega person. That was my shtick last season. Played a lot of Mega Drive games, some Sega Saturn games, things of that nature. Now that we're entering fall, we're relaunching, we've already started, we've got some awesome new stuff. We have been playing Morning Glory on Monday and Friday mornings, focusing on indies. It's really, really creative. He starts at the beginning of the week off playing a game for the first time ever, getting initial impressions. Then he kind of goes into game hibernation and keeps playing throughout the week while we have other stuff going on and people are going about their lives. And then on Friday he rebroadcasts, and not only do we get to see his progression in the game in terms of gameplay, if it is something that's very reaction-based, but he kind of gives a recap of what it's been like. So that's cool. Logan is still trucking along with Famicom Zone, which is awesome, but he's also going to be sharing, he's moving to Sunday nights and he's sharing it with our buddy Greg. Yes. Hello, Greggles. Welcome to the future. Enjoy. Ooh, we gotta get it foggy in here. So I was just talking about how Famicom Zone is now on Sundays, and he's sharing the Sunday night stream with our friend Greg. Thanks for watching, who just commented. And the really, really cool thing is Greg will be playing PC games, and they can alternate, they can both stream on the same night. We're trying to have multiple shows on single nights, and that will keep things going. It is like a sun show in here. It's very foggy. There are weird lights. There are things hovering. Nobody really knows what's happening. Anyway, I'm going on and on about our new shows. So that's Adventures in Personal Computing. What else do we have? We have New Game Plus. That's a new show. That is our excellent host of Thursday nights, Mr. Government Name. He's going to be playing new games on Tuesdays. Got a lot of stuff going on. Nerdco is relaunching. And so yeah, this is way, way back, 19XDX. The concept for this show is, hey, what's up, Ben? A little more fog in here, a little foggy. Concept for this show. When I was a kid, I loved this TV show called Video Power, and it starred this guy named Johnny Arcade, who was the cool skater high school nerd kid who was obsessed with Nintendo. He was obsessed with Sega. He had a secret lair in the basement of his parents' house. I always wished I could recreate that. So, with this show, I plan on trying to, in autobiographical sequence, play through all the games that I own that are in this cabinet back there and relive them, kind of make it about my own personal history with gaming and talk to you guys, see what you grew up with, and sort of figure out why we all like what we like and why all this shit is important to us. So that's the idea, and I'm going to try to do sort of a weird, goofy talk show segment like this with artwork and holograms and stupid shit like that. Thanks, robots. Good job. So yeah, I used to have a blog, and I wrote about how the very first time I ever saw an NES was when I was about maybe 4 or 5 years old. I was on a trip to Dallas with my mom, visiting some of her friends, and they had an NES, and they had 3 games that I remember playing very vividly, and it blew my mind. Legend of Zelda, Super Mario Brothers, and Gradius, as I called it my whole life, until I found out it is supposed to be kind of reference to the Roman sword Gladius, so I guess it should be Gradius. for our purposes, I'm going to call it Gruddius, because that's kind of how I feel when I play it. I'm not very good at it, but I really like it a lot. I remember playing this game over and over and over, and I couldn't even make it to where the volcanoes erupt. So we'll see how far I get tonight. Because Mr. Johnny Arcade and Video Power, which I watched as a kid, was about tips and tricks and cheats, we're not here for power plays and super plays. We're here to talk about games, so if I start getting my ass beat, we can throw in the Konami code and power up mid-level. Because in this game, if you die, you may as well just hit reset and start over, but hitting reset is going to botch the stream, so we're not going to do that. So yeah, really, really difficult game. I didn't want to just start with Mario Brothers, because everybody knows Mario Brothers. I didn't want to start with Legend of Zelda, even though autobiographically it makes sense. Logan has Legend of Zelda on lockdown with Famicom Zone, and while this is kind of a funny way for me to try and play 8-bit Nintendo games without infringing on his territory, I don't want to play the games that he's playing as much as possible. He did a really, really cool multi-part episode, or multiple episodes where he's playing through all of Legend of Zelda on Famicom Disk System, I want to say. And I think he may have yet to finish it. So yeah, this game is super difficult. It came out in, I want to say, well, in America, 1986. Like I said, I was 4 or 5 when I played it, and I ended up begging my mom for a Nintendo after that trip. Just every day nagging her over and over and over and over and over again, until finally Santa Claus mysteriously delivered one under the tree that Christmas that had just been, I don't know, 87, 88, something like that. You'll notice in the title of the show, the XDX is meant to be, we're going to be playing games from the 80s and 90s, and we'll see how far I get through my collection. They're going to be stinkers, they're going to be good games. I'm going to try to focus on the good games, but if there's a really, really bad game in my collection that has an interesting memory or story attached to it, it's going to get played, and I'm going to rage about it, I'm sure. So, enough talk. I think we're done with the silly holograms and goofiness. Maybe a little bit more Fog Machine. This whole setup, by the way, is brought to you by the Playroom on PlayStation 4. You will see the title screen for it when I go to cut this broadcast and switch over to my station over here that you see in the background. Gradius is playing on it. I've got the actual 8-bit NES plugged in through the FrameMeister, not RGB, just component. But it looks alright for streaming. And yeah, Playroom is a free to download application for PlayStation 4. If you have the camera, it will draw little AR robots on the ground, and you can run around with them. It's got a bunch of mini games. Really fun for the kids, also fun for me, trying something different. We'll see how this goes. So, without further ado, I'm going to cut this stream, and in about 10 seconds or so, I'll be over there, and I'm going to hit stream again as well, and we'll play the fucking game. You guys ready to do this? Let's do it.